We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, along with Vice President and Education Secretary Sara Duterte, attended this morning's celebration of the National Teachers' Day in Benguet, Abra. In her speech, Araneta Marcos said she understands the trials of teachers being a part-time law professor at the Western Visayas State University and noted the hard work and sacrifices they made during the pandemic to ensure the continuous learning of their students. She also relayed the message of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. for teachers, saying that the president acknowledges their plight as he vowed to increase the government spending on education. Araneta Marcos lauded the DepEd efforts for looking after the welfare of teachers and helping them enrich their skills.
Nung nakaraang SONA po ni President Marcos Jr., sabi po niya, ang edukasyon ay ang tangi nating pamana sa ating mga anak na hindi mawawaldas. Kaya anumang gastusin ang kanilang pag-aaral ay hindi tayo magtitipid. Siguro ito yung dahilan kung bakit yung malaki yung budget ng DepEd for next year. And rightly so, di ba? Having said that, I wish to congratulate the DepEd, very ably led by VP Sara, for the provisions of teacher welfare benefits, which include employee wellness interventions, and timely testing and training seminars. So on behalf of my husband, he would like to convey his appreciation because to all of you, because you have remained steadfast in mentoring the learners, you have built their foundation and honed their skills. Please continue your unwavering service and commitment to the Filipino youth. As my husband says, at the end of the day, ang mga guro natin ay ang dangal ng sambayan Pilipino.
Meanwhile, Vice President Sara Duterte inspected a number of public schools in Abra, such as the Benguet North Elementary School, Abra High School, and Benguet East Elementary School. The program ended with a raffle draw for teachers. Among their prizes are 30 motorcycles, 26 laptops, and over 1 million pesos worth of giveaway and gifts, and a brand new car. October 5 is declared as National Teachers' Day under Republic Act 10743. The Bureau of Customs, or BOC, exceeded its target collection by 28.4% in September. The BOC said it has collected a total of 79.5 billion pesos in revenues last month, higher than the 61.9 billion peso target collection. It has also collected about 638.7 billion pesos in total revenues from January to September, which is 17.8% higher than its target. BOC Commissioner Yogi Filemon Ruiz attributed the increase to their stringent implementation of border control measures, which has driven the Bureau to plug revenue leakages and strengthen the nation's trade facilitation and revenue collection performance. Ruiz vowed to continue to sustain its positive performance throughout the year 2022 by taking advantage of the BOC's modernization programs and enhanced reform initiatives. He said this is in line with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s 8-point socio-economic program. The Health Department noted a 153% increase on the number of measles and rubella cases in the country. The DOH said a total of 450 measles and rubella cases were recorded from January 1 to September 17, 2022, compared to 178 cases at the same date last year. Most of the measles and rubella cases this year were reported in Calabarzon, followed by Central Visayas and the National Capital Region. Calabarzon also logged the most number of cases from August 21st to September 17 alone. Of the total 68 cases, Calabarzon has 16 cases, followed by Eastern Visayas with 12 cases and 7 cases each in Central Visayas, Northern Mindanao, and NCR. The DOH recorded measles clusters in Barangay Karangaan, Dagupan City, Pangasinan, and in Barangay Balangasan, Pagadian City, Zamboanga del Sur. The World Health Organization said measles is a highly contagious and serious disease caused by a virus that is usually transmitted through the air and direct contact. Its symptoms include high fever, runny nose, cough, red and watery eyes, and small white spots or rashes. Meanwhile, rubella is a contagious viral infection that is transmitted by airborne droplets, usually when people sneeze or cough. It may cause a mild fever and rash in children and adults. DOH officer in charge Maria Rosario Vergara said almost 3 million children in the country have not yet received any of the 2 doses of the measles vaccine. The Philippines strengthened its cooperative ties with Japan and Australia in the field of defense and security. Defense Officer in Charge Undersecretary Jose Faustino Jr. met with Japanese Defense Minister Yasukazu Hamada and Australian Deputy Prime Minister and Defense Minister Richard Marles on the sidelines of the meeting of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command in Hawaii. DND spokesperson Arsenio Andulong said the discussion revolved around the security development in the region and ways to strengthen Philippines-Japan defense cooperation. Faustino and Hamada described the meeting as an important follow-up to the meeting between President Bongbong Marcos and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida during the United Nations General Assembly in September. Meanwhile, Faustino and Marles exchanged views on the security situation in the Asia-Pacific region. Among the measures they explored to strengthen bilateral defense relations were maritime cooperation activities, counter-terror trainings, education, and professionalization opportunities. In our news overseas, South Korea and the United States launched ground-to-ground missiles into the Sea of Japan today in retaliation to North Korea's missile test. In a report from the Yonhap news agency, South Korea's military said the 2 sides each fired 2 Army tactical missile systems at mock targets during joint drills. The military said the launches were in response to North Korea firing a ballistic missile over Japan yesterday. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol vowed a stern response against North Korea's so-called provocation. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres also called North Korea's missile test as an escalation, while U.S. President Joe Biden and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida condemned it in the strongest terms. And that is the latest and the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We are also shown on the social media pages of the Office of the Press Secretary and Radio Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more updates. I am William Theo. We tell stories that inspire change. Good afternoon.